Hi, I'm Ms. Baston, and today I'm going to talk to you about complex sentences, clauses, and punctuation.
A complex sentence is a sentence that contains one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. An independent clause or main clause is a group of words that contains a subject, verb, and a complete thought. A dependent clause is a group of words that contain a subject, verb, and needs to be joined to an independent clause by a subordinating conjunction. This is also called a subordinate clause. Subordinating conjunctions introduce dependent clauses and connect them to the independent clause. We use the acronym AWUBIS to help students remember the most common subordinating conjunctions. They are as, after, although, when, while, until, because, before, if, and since. Now let's look at some complex sentences. To help students identify complex sentences that are correctly written, we have students code these sentences. Students code sentences by identifying the subject, the verb, and any subordinating conjunctions. In my first sentence, while I taught the lesson, the students took notes. I noticed that my sentence begins with an AWUBIS word, a subordinating conjunction. So I'm going to put a cloud around the word while. Next, I'm going to look for the subject. Who or what is this part of the sentence about? This part of the sentence is about I. So I'm going to put a single line under the word I. What did I do? I taught. The word taught is my verb, so I'm going to put 2 lines under that. Then I'm going to put the lesson in parentheses as this helps complete the thought for this part of the sentence. I'm going to circle my comma because it signals that I'm starting a new thought. The students are the subject for the second part of my sentence. What did the students do? They took is my verb, so put 2 lines under that. And then notes goes in parentheses. Now, because I have identified my subjects and verbs as well as my subordinating conjunction, I can now identify that the first part of my sentence, while I taught the lesson, is the subordinate clause. And the second part of my sentence, following the comma, the students took notes, is my independent clause. Let's look at one more. The students took notes while I taught the lesson. Who or what is the first part of my sentence about? The students. The students is the subject, so I'm going to underline that once. Took is my verb, so I'm going to underline that twice. Notes completes this thought. My next word is while, and I know while is a subordinating conjunction, so I'm going to put that in a cloud. Who or what is the second part of my sentence about? I, one underline. What did I do? I taught. That is my verb. The rest of my sentence is going to go in parentheses. This time, my sentence begins with my independent clause. The students took notes. The second part of my sentence, which begins with while I taught the lesson, is my dependent clause. In sentences where the subordinate clause comes first, it's necessary to have a comma to signal the beginning of a new thought. In sentences where the subordinating clause comes second, it is not necessary to have a comma to signal the new thought because the subordinating conjunction serves this purpose. I hope this helps you with writing and identifying correctly written complex sentences.